Introduction. Childhood obesity is a complex disease characterized by exceeding the age growth norm of a child's body weight. One should recognize that obesity in children has spread in many countries over the past 3 decades, and today this phenomenon represents a severe global concern. The condition, noticed in childhood, is more likely to pass into adulthood, entailing extremely unpleasant consequences such as hypertension, diabetes, and cardiovascular diseases. On the one hand, Marshall et al. Suggest that the manifestation of this problem is reflected in the complex interaction of genetic, environmental, and behavioral factors. Nevertheless, based on numerous studies, it becomes clear that family attitudes are becoming a critical aspect in the development of overweight in youngsters. Most parents tend to ignore a child's extra pounds, arguing that this situation disappears with the growth process, but the reality is entirely different afterward. Childhood obesity is the fault of undemanding, unresponsive, and irresponsible parents. Parents' responsibility for their child's serious illness. Primarily, one must emphasize that taking care of a child's health is one of the most important responsibilities of parents. Lindsay et al. Claim that adults play a crucial role in creating an environment conducive to healthy eating and physical activity among kids and adolescents. At least this statement often comes from the media blaming parents for the problem, and mothers are mentioned more often than fathers. Accordingly, it is noteworthy that mothers are positioned as the primary guardians responsible for the child's physical potential within the framework of ensuring future collective prosperity. Nonetheless, equally, fathers and mothers are key agents of early socialization in relation to eating habits. Hence, they are additionally answerable for instilling a clean lifestyle and good habits for health. Consequently, the presence of excess body fat in children may result from a combination of various moments, mainly the parent's fault. Parents are role models for the younger generation, and their behavior, habits, and lifestyle can be a priority in raising a child. If parents are overweight, they send their children a simple message: being fat is good, and because kids want to be like them, they also start to gain weight. On the contrary, children will most likely follow this example if a parent rarely does sports and loves junk food. Unfortunately, this lifestyle leads to the accumulation of fat, which ultimately causes health problems. In this situation, if a mother and father want their offspring to grow up healthy and beautiful, they need to show their best side because children copy their parents' image and manners, even if it happens unconsciously. In brief, parenting methods and behavior patterns, in combination with lifestyle features, have a powerful impact on a child's level of physical activity and diet. It is essential to remember that children have little power and little control over choices; they are entirely dependent on adults. For illustration, parents' laziness, which is expressed in the inability to provide a healthy diet or restrictions in cooking from scratch, can serve not only as a poor example but also lead to childhood obesity, mainly due to eating semi-finished products. If parents do not prepare fresh salads at home, such food is unusual for children and, as a result, is not tasty, and if parents do not support a healthy diet in the child's family, then there is no point in schools and kindergartens trying. Furthermore, children tend to beg their parents for the desired product from advertising, which is not always helpful. In this case, parents who indulge their children's lead initially lay terrible habits that lead to the accumulation of fats. Parents have the right to control their children, their steps or choice, trying to protect them from all troubles and make their life better based on the principles of a healthy lifestyle. Most often, children's access to unhealthy snacks and their consumption largely depends on parental approval. The choice of foods is significant, along with instilling physical activity. The most general rule is to choose food without dyes, preservatives, and flavors. Thus, adults can prevent the problem of children's excess weight by selecting the right food. They should not feed their offspring. If they overeat in the family, a child can devour, and if parents eat right, children will learn from them. Moreover, when a parent promises a child to buy ice cream as a reward for eating vegetables, a logical chain is formed in their head that ice cream is good, and vegetables are just a means to an end. The child continues to live with this belief, and the love of unhealthy food grows, eventually leading to excessive fat accumulation. In this case, parents must inspire, help, mentor, and care for their offspring's medical condition to avoid childhood obesity. According to Lindsay et al., parents are the most critical force in changing youth's behavior, as well as their efforts should be aimed at eradicating the problem. For instance, offering appropriate food portions and fostering physical activity are the main tasks of adults in carrying out appropriate preventive measures. Healthy eating and active family recreation are the best means to fight against childhood obesity. Basically, eating habits are formed in the womb and extend to the first years of a child's life. The type of nutrition of a newborn, the duration of sleep, and the rate of weight gain in the postnatal period are associated with obesity later. For the most part, the impact of parents on the youth's weight is especially pronounced in the process of educating preschool and school-age children. In this case, Lindsay et al. Recommend working on preventing and controlling childhood obesity from the earliest stages of child development and growth in terms of making healthy changes in the home setting, strengthening and supporting a nutritious diet, and regular physical activity. In short, preventing overweight in preschool children can provide health benefits both in childhood and adulthood. The preschool period is crucial for interventions at the level of lifestyle changes to form long-term eating habits and an active lifestyle. From this, one should conclude that parents must focus on offering and taking various amounts of nutritious foods over the years and encouraging physical activity. Conclusion. Based on the previously indicated factual data, it should be remarked that there is a deep and meaningful connection between the parent's behavior and the child's weight. Consequently, the presence of obesity in kids and teenagers is a consequence of the negligence and irresponsibility of their parents. Hence, parents are an example to follow, and the child's eating habits, as well as their level of physical activity, are the result of upbringing. As practice shows, adults have more power and authority, and their opinion is especially important and significant for a youth. Consequently, this circumstance suggests that grown-ups have a greater chance to influence a child, their lifestyle, the quality of physical activity, and food preferences. This and many other essays are available at studycorgi.com.